Let's speak to Adrian Brown now. He's live for us in Hangzhou. A big moment there for the leaders of China and the US as the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon was acknowledging Adrian.
Indeed, Elizabeth, Ban Ki-moon talking about some good news for a change. Why is it so important that China and the United States have finally ratified the climate change deal signed in Paris back in December? Well, as the UN Secretary General pointed out, they account for about 40% of global gas emissions between them. Now, it's important for another reason, because this is one of the rare occasions where we have agreement, cooperation between China and the United States. It's a relationship that in many ways is marked by tension and often, acrimonious disputes. But when it comes to climate change, the two have been working very closely. And indeed, in many ways, China needs a lot of praise for its work here, because in Paris, China was instrumental. It played a key role in arm-twisting those countries that were hesitating about signing the Paris Climate Change Accord. And China made sure that a number of those countries, particularly countries in Africa, signed up, threatening them with that aid to them would be, cut off. So China has played a very instrumental role in pushing this forward. But at least 55 other countries have to ratify this agreement before it really can have any effect at all. But China and the United States hope that other countries will now follow, their example, Elizabeth.
Yeah, a good start there by China and the US and them agreeing on something. Not at all a good start to the US delegation's arrival, though, was it, Adrian, for the G20 summit? A rough start, in fact. Tell us about that.
Yeah, indeed, those strains I was just mentioning, very apparent even before President Barack Obama had walked down the steps from his plane onto the tarmac. At first, there were no steps. Eventually, another set of steps were found. Apparently, there was a mechanical problem with the first set of steps. Eventually, emerged. But the problem came when one of his officials was involved in an altercation with a Chinese government official. Normally, when the president travels, the US photographers, the media who travel with him, are allowed to leave the plane and go onto the tarmac to take pictures of the president arriving. A Chinese official said, no, that can't happen. This is our country. It is our airport. Well, a short time ago, during a press conference with the UK Prime Minister Theresa May, President Obama tried to play down the tarmac incident. This is what he had to say.
We think it's important that the press have access to the work that we're doing, that they have the ability to answer questions. And we don't leave our values and ideals behind when we take these trips. It can cause some friction. It's not the first time it's happened. It doesn't just happen in China. It happens in other countries where we travel. I think this time maybe Josh put it, the seams are showing a little more.
Well, it's a curious incident, Elizabeth, because China has invested so much money in ensuring that everything at this G20 summit goes smoothly. It has more than 1 million volunteers on hand. It has spent more than $100 million on the venue where the G summit is going to be taking place. So this incident is unfortunate. The president there was playing it down, but it is what happens when you have the sort of regimented and in many ways stifling security that we currently have here in Hangzhou. Security to ensure, as I say, that everything goes smoothly. China always gets the hardware right in events like these, but sometimes it doesn't always get the software right.
Adrian, thank you very much for that. That's Adrian Brown joining us live from the G20 summit in Hangzhou, China. Thank you.